Degree final year students, today topic about plasma membrane. Already do you know about cell wall structure, and also I completed the cell nucleus. Today topic about plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. First of all, the position of the plasma membrane, it is below the cell wall. It is below the cell wall. Then the plasma membrane is surrounded the cytoplasm of the cell. Surrounded the cytoplasm of the cell. Then the first explain the plasma membrane structure. The scientist name is Overton. Scientist name is Overton. Then the plasma membrane thickness is mainly 75 Armstrong to 105 Armstrong. 75 Armstrong to 105 Armstrong thickness is seen in the plasma membrane. Then first of all you observe this is the cell of the plant. The middle region is nucleus. Then this is a cell wall. This is plasma membrane. This is plasma membrane. That means outermost layer of the cell is called cell wall. Then second one is plasma membrane. Then plasma membrane have the important character is it have the permeability. Permeability nothing but the plasma membrane is absorb the essential wanted materials of the other cells to the one cell to another cell. That means it is observe the concentration of liquids. Then chemical structure of the plasma membrane. Chemical structure means this plasma membrane have the proteins, lipids and carbohydrates. Proteins, lipids both are rich amount of the proteins and lipids are seen in the plasma membrane, but a low amount or light amount of carbohydrates are seen in the plasma membrane. Then first of all you observe the proteins. How many types of proteins present in the cell membrane? Proteins generally proteins are always connected with carbohydrates. These are called as glycoproteins. This is also important. Proteins always connected with carbohydrates, so these are called as glycoproteins. Glyco nothing but glucose. Proteins. Then proteins, two types of proteins are seen in the plasma membrane. One is peripheral proteins, another one is internal proteins. Another one is internal proteins. First of all you observe the lipid structure in the plasma membrane. The lipids have this is tail part of the lipid and this is head part of the lipid. This is look like as pins. Okay. Then next about the above the head part of the lipids have the proteins. These proteins are called as peripheral proteins. Loosely packed proteins are seen in the above the head part of the lipid. This total lipid part, this is tail part, this is head part. The above the head part, this is head. Above the head part have the loosely packed proteins. These proteins are called as peripheral proteins. The in between the lipids have the proteins. These proteins are called as the internal proteins. Then next about the second thing, lipids. This is also one of the chemical constituents of the plasma membrane. These lipids are two types, phospholipids and glycolipids. Phospholipids means lipid have the phosphate molecule. This is called as phospholipids. Glycolipids. Do you know about glyco? Nothing but glucose. That means carbohydrates. Carbohydrates and lipids both are mingled and produce the glycolipids. This is the lipids. Phospholipids, glycolipids. In proteins, peripheral proteins, internal proteins. Peripheral proteins is seen in the outer side of the head, and internal proteins, embedded proteins. Then carbohydrates. These carbohydrates also two types, glycoproteins and glycolipids. Glyco means carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, proteins, both are mixed and produce the glycoproteins, and carbohydrates and lipids, both are mixed and produce the glycolipids. This is the chemical composition of the plasma membrane. Another class about theories of plasma membrane structure.